Hello, welcome back to Buckle Up. My name is Rob Wilson.
And I'm Harry King, and this is the Maxus T90EV. It's basically the UK's Cybertruck. So, Rob, let's see if it's a terrible failure, just like that is. Okay, so as usual, Rob, we're going to start here at the front, where this differs from the Cybertruck in one key way. It actually has a front-end design.
What? On an electric pickup truck, this is something I'm not used to.
I know. It doesn't just have to be straight lines and flat steel. However, I think the design of this is questionable. The grille is very big.
Especially when it doesn't need it.
Yes. So this vehicle started its life in the Chinese market as a conventionally powered pickup truck, which I suspect is the point at which the grille was drawn up.
Yes.
In the Chinese market, they do like a big, blingy grille, we're told.
They like the chrome.
They like the chrome. So that kind of explains why this is here, but I feel like they could have sort of flattened it off or something, or just chilled it out a little bit. You do have your full main beams lower down, and then running lights, which is nice. It's very hospitable to other road users.
It's reminiscent of the BMW XM.
This is actually better looking than the BMW XM.
Yeah.
And it's better looking than the Cybertruck.
Yeah, so's my left.
You've got a huge Maxus badge. You've got a sort of brush guardy, styly thing, but it's not actually...
This seems really high off the ground. Is that normal? I'm not a pickup person.
Yes, approach angles are important on a pickup truck. Not on this one, which we'll get onto into a second. I'm just going to show you a quick shot of under the bonnet because I think it's funny.
I've seen it is funny.
Yeah, they could have put a front boot in here. There was loads of room.
Yeah.
They haven't, I guess for cost reasons. We'll also get onto why that's maybe not a great excuse slightly later on.
Yeah.
But for now, Rob, shall we look at the side?
Yeah, go on then.
So here we have a pretty traditional pickup truck silhouette. This is a crew cab, double cab, whatever you want to call it. This is the only cab specification you can get in the UK. It's also a 1.5 metre long bed. It's the only bed length you can get in the UK. You've got these 17-inch alloy wheels.
Yeah.
I quite like the design. You've got 6 wheel bolts, which is pretty standard on a commercial vehicle for extra weight capacity. Side step fitted to this.
To make it easier to get in and out of,
you know. But I think this is a good opportunity to speak about off-road capabilities you alluded to with the front approach angle.
Yes.
You might be able to see, I'm not sure if you can, behind this step, the battery is hanging under the chassis, reducing the clearance under the car.
Yeah.
Which you're thinking, well, that's not great. And then if you high center the car by accident, you might puncture the battery. That's really dangerous. But at the moment in the UK, this is not available with dual motors. It's not available with all-wheel drive. It's rear-wheel drive, strict rear-wheel drive only.
And you can see the motor.
Yes.
Here.
Well, we'll see it better from the back in just a second. The thing I think that's slightly odd about that is it's fitted with 4x4 tyres.
It is, yes.
I don't know if that's just branding, but they literally say 4x4 on them, which it isn't. But
no.
Let's go take a look at that motor.
Yes. Well, this is the back.
This is the back, and I think this is the angle where, in fairness, we can point out one area in which this vehicle isn't quite as well made as the Tesla Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Which is the rear motor is exposed and hanging down quite low.
Yes.
Again, less of an issue because at the moment you wouldn't be taking it off-road. In theory, this can lock its rear wheels together and give you better off-road traction, but I just feel like it's piecemeal, basically.
Yeah. There's a couple of things that I think aesthetically they could improve on back here.
Yeah.
This is not the best.
Big plastic Maxus, instead of having it stamped in the metal.
Yes. It looks much better when it's stamped in.
Yeah.
When you see the forward ones.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think you need to put SAIC motor, which is the Chinese company that makes this, also makes MGs. T90EV, that's fine, but you don't need this. There's too much going on back here.
Yeah, it's busy. What they do on the MGs, for example, with the SAIC, they like to still put it on the cars. They put it very small inside the light cluster.
Yes.
You've got some conventional pickup truck stuff here. So there's this step for getting up into the bed, but we've noticed that actually it's got a lot of flex in it.
Yeah.
The whole bumper kind of flexes away from the body. Well, and that's obviously, before anyone makes some smart aleck comments, that's me just pushing down on it. I know I'm fat.
It does it for me as well.
Yes. But also the step bits here at the side,
they're not big enough for my feet.
Yeah, your foot has to go in under the reflector, and then it kind of is wedged, so then you'd be kind of trapped dangling off the back corner.
Yeah.
The tailgate itself, Rob.
Well, just before you do that,
yes.
This camera,
oh yeah,
it's got a reversing camera, but it doesn't point anywhere near the back.
No, you can't actually see where the back of the vehicle is in it.
Which is a little bit unfortunate. If you did put a tow hook on it, you wouldn't be able to see.
I think if they took this bit of plastic off, you would be able to see the back of the...
I think that as well. But anyway...
I'll open this. It's not damped in any way.
Yeah, you do it.
It just opens like that.
Yeah.
1 ton load capacity in the bed, which is impressive. That's class matching, generally.
Yeah. Yep.
Obviously, there's little variations, but a ton is kind of the standard required from a pickup truck like this. The towing capacity is not as good as diesel rivals. This doesn't lock. I know that might not seem like an issue because obviously it's a bed and you can get into it, but what that means is if you fit a roll top cover or a truckman top, you then, even though you've covered your load space, you can't secure your load space, which isn't ideal.
No.
And it's big and heavy and not damped.
No.
But you generally don't think about pickup trucks being super user-friendly in that way. We don't measure, like the load height, stuff like that. No. It's not a family hatchback.
Can I just point out 2 things?
Yes.
Number 1, it does have actual tie-down stuff welded into it. And secondly, if you were putting sand in here, there's a gap.
Yeah, so here, under where the tailgate is an open gap. I should say, actually,
sealed.
This appears to have a spray-in bed liner.
Yes.
Now, I'll be completely honest with you guys. This is a dealer demonstrator, and I don't know if this is a standard option, or if this is a dealer option. But it's certainly available.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're taking very tough loads, you'll want a full drop-in plastic bed liner, which I'm sure will be available on the aftermarket somewhere.
Yeah.
But probably not quite as easily as you would find for a Hilux or a Ranger.
No. Shall we see if we fit in the back?
Yes. Okay, so you're going to hop in, Rob, because you're taller, so you'll be able to better judge legroom. But before you do, I just want to show a couple of features that you will find on most pickup trucks, including this one. So, there's a tab up here to fold the back of the seats down, and here is where you will find your charging cables, as well as a tyre repair kit down there. And then also there's a tab in the centre here, which is a bit stiffer, but there we go, lift that up. And then you have also a warning triangle down here and some storage under the floor in general, if you want to conceal anything, because obviously you don't have a boot.
No.
Not a huge amount of space, but a little bit. But there you go, seats back in place, be my guest.
Thank you. Oh. Right. Well, I fit.
Yes.
I've got knee room. I've got about that much knee room. I've got headroom.
Yeah.
Even if I sit up straight, if I move... Oh, yep, if I move that... Oh, no, it doesn't actually go any higher than lock in place. So that's good. It's fine.
Oh.
Yep. So we'll just put that there for now. So that's a thing. It's got an armrest in the middle with 2 cup holders in them. So I think you'd be fine if you were 4 up in here. You've got decent door pockets. You've got seat back pockets.
There's certainly enough space for a work crew, for example.
Oh, 100%.
Or is there Isofix? There is Isofix, isn't there?
Yes, there is Isofix.
Yeah, so also children.
Yeah.
Although
I don't know.
I don't know if you'd want this as a family vehicle.
No, there's a little...
So that's so you can hook the seat base up?
Yes, and that's hidden in a little pocket there. There's 2 ways of charging stuff down here. One is a 12 volt, which we're all used to, and the other one says it's 220 volt. But when you look at the pattern, it doesn't look like any form of British plug will fit into it.
Yeah, you need a Euro-style 220 volt plug.
Yes, which is a little bit weird considering this has the steering wheel on the correct side.
Yeah.
Which we'll find out when we sit in the front. But that's basically it.
Seat comfort, materials? They're quite
average,
utilitarian, probably. It's vinyl.
I'm not as upright as I have been in other pickups in the past.
That is true, actually. I've not thought about that.
It's slightly more reclined, but yeah, not.
But hard plastic on the doors, vinyl on the seats.
It's hard wearing.
Utilitarian carpet. It's not a comfort interior. It's a functional interior.
No, but it's not as if this is a £50,000 vehicle. Oh wait. Anyway.
Let's see if it can make up for that in the front. First things first, Robert, I'm going to get in using the side step, which is actually more difficult than you'd think because there's no handle. So you have to kind of just grab the outside of the vehicle.
Good, I'll close that up.
It's not feeling like a £50,000 interior, I think is the first thing.
What's the steering wheel made out of?
This is made out of rubber, like my 2004 Ford Focus.
Okay.
I'll start with technology.
Yeah.
It won't take long. Hint. I have audio controls on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
My indicators and my windscreen wipers are the wrong way round.
Yep.
So this is lights and wipers.
No,
this
lights.
is, oh God. This is lights and indicator and this is wipers.
Yes.
Which obviously isn't confusing. This is the infotainment screen.
Yeah.
It has Bluetooth.
This is 2024.
No sat-nav. It does have Apple CarPlay. No Android Auto. Hence why this is attached to the windscreen, because I've been using my phone as a sat-nav. Down here, we have your driving modes, your traction control, and your hill descent control, which says interestingly, and your drive selector. This conspicuously blank switch, 2 USB-A's, and another 12-volt socket. So you've got two 12 volts in here. It does have a normal key. That looks like it would be a push-button start on a different trim level, except no other trim levels exist in this country. Yet. And that's kind of it for technology. I've got electric wing mirrors.
Oof.
I've got an electronic charge flap release.
Ooh.
Because you can't open it from the outside, which isn't that uncommon.
No.
Practicality-wise, you do have quite a few cubbies. So you've got a glove box. It's not damped, and actually it's quite shallow.
Yeah.
But it's usefully wide. You'd fit documents in there if you needed to keep invoices or blueprints or whatever else builders have with them. And the space up here for your pens, Rob, if you have very short pens.
Yes.
And a notepad, maybe.
Small notepad. A post-it note.
But it's, again, it's all hard plastic up here, so I think things might slide around a lot.
Yeah.
You've got a sunglasses holder, though. We like that.
That makes it the best pickup truck in the world.
Here on Buckle Up, we like a sunglasses holder. And you've got cup holders here in the dash, which is handy.
For small drinks.
Yeah, they're not super robust. They're quite early 2000s, actually.
I think if you're a builder and you've got a large takeaway cup of tea or coffee, it might.
I think the danger is toppling.
Yes.
Rather than falling through.
Yes.
So that's actually quite tough.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot of material there. But you do have another two cup holders here in the centre.
Yeah.
You've got this centre console storage area. Actually quite small, but it is there. And you have a little hidden cubby down here on the driver's side, which looks like a fuse box, but it is a little drawer where you could maybe keep your wallet, something like that. And obviously a little space here where you could keep your phone. There are some odd things like bits of interior trim just kind of lift out. Like this is the felt lining for the bottom of this storage area. These seats are the same vinyl as the back seats. It feels really tough. It feels very solid. And I'm certainly not concerned about the longevity of the interior. But I feel like there are a lot of compromises in here, Rob. We've got no front trunk, even though there's loads of space. We have no all-wheel drive, even though it'd be very theoretically quite simple to put a front motor on. There are multiple other vehicles in SAIC's range.
There's also enough space.
Yeah, that are available with all-wheel drive. The towing capacity isn't there. The bed doesn't lock. And then the interior is it's the base end of the market. But if you're buying on the base end of the pickup truck market and you're buying a stripper spec Ford Ranger or a Isuzu D-Max, it's 2/3 of the price of this or less.
But at least you've got analog dials.
You do have analog dials. You've got rain sensing wipers, except in all of the time I've driven the car, Rob, they haven't worked.
Okay, good.
That could be just a me problem, though. Actually, there are a couple of other things I've found in my week of driving this.
Oh, no.
So why don't we hop in and go for a drive and we'll talk about them.
Okay.
Before we set off, I just want to mention it's a proper handbrake. And as far as I can work out, there's no parking here. So you're relying on this.
Okay.
I think.
Good.
Unless it somehow locks you in neutral and doesn't turn the wheels. But off we set, creeping away.
It's making a noise.
It does make a noise. It's locked.
Good. It's got central locking.
It does have central locking. Not a guarantee necessarily,
no.
Considering the weird levels of spec that exist on this. So, things I've noticed while driving this week. Number one is the heater doesn't work.
Just at all.
You can set whatever it's got climate control, and you can set whatever temperature you like. The aircon works. I've got it on right now. It works well.
Yeah.
If you want it to heat you up, it just doesn't happen. Heated seats are optional, but not standard.
Right.
And this one doesn't have them.
Good.
So that was very uncomfortable the other morning when it was 2 degrees.
Yeah.
And the other thing I noticed when it was 2 degrees is the cold really affects the efficiency of this.
Right.
So
from about what to what?
Under normal running, I'm managing near 2.5 kilowatts per mile, which is not good efficiency, but it's the efficiency required to get this close to its range.
Okay.
So this has a WLTP range of 220 miles. It has an 85.5 kilowatt hour battery.
Yeah.
So if you manage 2.48 miles per kilowatt hour, you achieve that range.
Okay.
And I have been able to get close to that, including on the motorway.
Yeah.
When it's warm outside, but at 2 degrees, the efficiency halved. So I was doing 1.25 kilowatt hours per mile.
That's not good.
Yeah. And a sort of predicted 110 mile range.
Yeah.
Which is still better than something like a Honda E, but that's not a benchmark you want to be pulling at.
No.
So it's a sort of fair weather vehicle. Oh, indicators on the wrong side again.
Yep. We changed lanes using our wipers there.
Yeah. And then, the body roll and stuff isn't great.
Okay. It does feel old.
Yes.
Fashioned.
So in cold weather, you're going to struggle inside to drive it, and it's going to struggle to actually get anywhere. The other thing, we're feeling it now on this slightly faster road, I don't think they've done anything to this chassis to prepare it for being an EV.
I feel a bit sick.
It's very, very jiggly. Whatever the battery being attached to the chassis has done in terms of rigidity and weight distribution has, well, I hope it's affected the MVH. I mean, obviously I've not driven the ICE version of this car, that's in Chinese market only. Maybe it is also very lazily set up from an MVH perspective, but there's just so much wallow and jiggle and unpleasant movement from the chassis.
Yeah.
That on an undulating or even, I mean, this is a fairly smooth road.
I know this road because I've driven down it many millions of times. I've never been that jiggled about in any sort of vehicle I've been in.
No, it's not. It's not great. Normal commercial vehicle things.
Was there a camera on the back?
I guess we're just with you now.
Yeah.
Normal commercial vehicle things, very slow turns, locked a lot, big turning circle. Quite tricky to park. It's 5.3 something meters long.
Yeah.
The reversing camera helps, but it's, as we've discussed, it's not brilliant.
Yeah.
You really don't like that, do you?
No.
Now, I think in terms of being a commercial vehicle, this is acceptable at the right price point in terms of cabin quality, ride, everything else. At £50,000, it's just a no-go. For £50,000, it needs a special extra trick.
Yeah.
Like being off-road capable.
Yeah.
And this isn't.
No. Because what can you get for £50,000 in the non-EV market?
Well, in the pickup truck market, you could get a Ranger Raptor.
Yeah.
You could get an Arctic Trucks D-Max.
Yeah.
Or you could just get a completely top-out spec, full luxury Amarok or Ranger with a 3-litre diesel V6.
Yeah.
That'll be very nice and luxurious. It'll be like a family SUV on the interior.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this would be okay at like £28,000 to £32,000, I think. It'd be comparable to commercial vehicles of a similar price and capability. The thing that's worth bearing in mind is, for brief moments in time, they do mad lease deals on these because it's effectively a commercial failure.
Yes.
People don't buy these. They're not well priced. They're not good value for money.
No.
When you're faced with that normal retail price.
No.
But it means they have to shift a certain amount of units. If it gets towards the end of the year and they haven't shifted them, they put really aggressive deals on.
Yes, I've seen £99 a month.
£99 a month excluding VAT.
Yeah.
Last December for these.
Yeah.
And at that money, yes.
Yeah.
You could buy this instead of an electric van.
Yeah.
And the range is as good as most electric vans. Sure, you'll spend a little bit more on charging it because the battery's bigger, but the cost of electricity, relatively compared to fuel, if you're refueling or refilling overnight, it's going to be marginal.
Yeah.
There's a case for it there, but there's a lot of compromises everywhere else and missing functionality. The all-wheel drive's a big deal breaker for me.
Yeah, I don't really understand it because there's clearly enough room in here for it. Because there's more room under that bonnet than I've ever seen under any bonnet ever.
Yeah.
So there's room for a motor and then the everything else up front.
Yeah.
It seems like a missed trick, especially when this. If you've got nothing in the back. There's no weight over the rear axle.
Yeah.
And it's just not going to really work in winter or even on a builder's site if it's rained or whatever. It's unless you've got the weight there, it's not going to work, is it? I don't know. I'm coming at this from the angle of I know nothing about pickup trucks. Yeah. I don't spend any time in them.
The thing is, if it's only going to be two-wheel drive, obviously, I don't think there are any small EV vans that will take a ton payload.
No.
But for everything other than weight, you're going to be able to store as much stuff in a Citan or a Kangoo or something of that size.
Yeah.
They won't drive quite as far, but they have much, much smaller batteries and they recharge quite quickly.
Yeah.
So the range is kind of neither here nor there.
Yeah.
And they're going to offer very similar utility because they're going to be just as usable on a job site in adverse traction conditions, and they'll be lighter. Although, with that being said, if you're still buying an EV one, it's still 1.8 tons.
Yeah.
So
how quickly does this charge up?
So the given figure is 45 minutes fast charge time, sort of 5 to 80%, that kind of thing. I had this down at just under 50% charge, and I got it back up to 100% charge in 20 minutes at a 350 kilowatt charger.
But that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm very usable for motorway journeys if you're getting that 220 miles of range. Yeah. If you're getting the 110.
The problem is most building sites don't have a rapid charger on them.
No.
They don't even have a 3-pin plug on them.
I have to assume the only reason you'd buy this vehicle at market price is for optics. It's so that your business has an electric pickup truck.
Yes.
And you can say, look at us, we have an electric pickup truck.
Yes.
Not a dirty diesel one.
Yes. But practicality-wise, I don't know how that... yes, it charges quickly, but where?
Yeah, only at fast chargers. Yeah. I mean, I'm not even sure it gets the benefit of the 350. I think it's only...
There's not a single farm in this country that has a rapid charger on it.
I wouldn't have thought so, no.
Even Harry Metcalf doesn't have one, and he's got a windmill and solar panels and a heat pump and everything at his farm. He's got a wall charger. Oh, Christ.
And it's also not that fast.
Not once you've got past the 30 mile an hour mark.
No. So 0 to 60 is still 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Which is pickup truck speeds.
Yes.
It does
especially when you're comparing it to a 3-litre V6 diesel that you're going to be getting in a Ranger or an
yeah, they're much faster.
Yeah.
It's got initial grunt.
But they're much faster and much cheaper. Cash.
Not much cheaper.
Well, they are cheaper.
But, I mean, this has 200 horsepower.
Yeah.
A 200 horsepower pickup truck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Cheaper.
Yeah.
I mean, your base,
so the only,
base Musso.
What I'm trying to say is the only way this makes sense is on a finance deal. It's ludicrous.
Yes. Those are available. Look out for them.
Yeah.
But I think, in the meantime, shall we do a conclusion?
Yes. Right. I'm disqualifying myself from concluding about this vehicle because I don't know anything about pickup trucks, and I really don't know anything about electric pickup trucks.
Right, yeah.
But you do your thing.
I think this smells, Rob, of a product that was rushed to market in order to beat competitors that have then failed to materialise. There's theoretically an Isuzu D-Max electric truck coming with everyone else we don't really know yet. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Maxus went, EV pickup trucks might be coming, we best get there first. We'll just slap a battery and a motor in and it'll be fine. And really, they should have had all-wheel drive ready to go. They should have had multiple trim levels ready to go. £50,000 is a lot of money.
It is, especially when this comes from a group that make some of the cheapest EV cars on the market.
The SAIC, make MG, they're able to offer excellent value EVs. I don't understand why this came to the market so expensive. But with that being said, for £99 a month, when those lease offers are available, and I suspect they will be again come the end of this year, it does actually make sense. It's got a real usable bed with a ton payload. That's actually useful.
That's good.
There is enough space inside for people.
Yeah.
In a sort of commercial vehicle way, it hits criteria. But I think improvement is needed. Maybe when they bring out the all-wheel drive model, they can do a heavy facelift and maybe fix some of the other issues.
Fix the grille.
Grill, some of the interior bits.
It doesn't need SAIC written on the back of it.
No, not in this country.
Change the interior around a bit.
So it's a first attempt. There are deals out there that make it a worthwhile consider, but I'd say in general, just wait, hold on for the all-wheel drive version.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. If you go down into the description, you'll find all the links to all our social medias. You will also find a couple of ways you can support the channel. So we have channel memberships on the main channel, and we also have merchandise
You've got it
that
on.
I'm wearing currently. So please go and do one or all of those things, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.